Alright. Hola AuthorTube, my name is AJ Torres. I'm a self-published fantasy author, and I am back with an author tag. Or technically a author tab. Author tab? What is wrong with me? Or technically a AuthorTube Newbie tag. I tried just looking for a regular author tag video, but I only ever found newbie tag, so let's just go with it. And, first off, I should definitely say I am so sorry that this is a little late. Last week I bit my tongue and it hurt to talk, and my kid's been sick. So, yeah, let's just do this. So, the drawing I have for you today is my original character, AJ, as a goose house witch. This only happened because the author of the Witchling series, Claribel A. Ortega, announced that she had a test on her site that lets you, see which house you are in her Witchling verse. I think that's like the best way to describe that. But, anyway, back to the topic at hand. I haven't done a tag in over 6 years, so I think I'm overdue for one. I think after this, I'm also going to do a BookTube tag, but one video at a time. Also, I'm going off a script this time because I have a habit of going off tangent when explaining, so yeah. Alright, here we go. First question. What's your book's pitch? If you have multiple works, choose your favorite. Oh crap. We are going hard right off the bat. Okay, so instead of saying a favorite, I'll read you the pitches of my already published works, and then give you what I have for what's coming. Oh no, I don't have my books in front of me! We are off to a great start. Oh, I'm probably gonna be slowing down that speed paint. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up the one of my books, The Call for Fenice Pride, on my phone, because I'm not gonna stop this recording to go find it. Alright, so book 1, Pride, is 7 sins, 7 hosts, 1 city purged. After everything you've learned, can you still stand with your faith, or finally rise up against it? Now, that is for book 1. Book 2 is The Call for Fenice Lust. Now, despite that the word lust is in the title, no, it's not a sexy book, don't ask. Book 2's tag is 7 sins, 7 hosts, 1 city purged. If vengeance is all you know, can you really let it go or succumb to your rage? Now, I did put together a omnibus that I was planning to put together after the release of each book in this series. So like after I finished writing book 3, it would immediately go into the ebook omnibus. But at the moment, it is technically on hiatus until I see interest back into the series. So let's just do the tag for the omnibus. 7 sins, 7 hosts, 1 city purged. With all roads and obstacles being different, one goal remains the same. And now, for one more, which we'll do Revenge and Forgiveness, my book with my cinnamon roll knight. Torn between the love of a brother and sworn duty to your kingdom, would you trade the comfort of a cage for freedom bought with blood? And that's it. That's everything I got published right now. Let's see. Oop, I can also read to you what I have waiting on the wing. So let's see here. Let's bring up Valhalla, because that is one I am hoping to publish this year in November. If I can find it in here. Oh no! Maybe it's in here. In that one? Maybe? Hopefully? Yes? No? No. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to read you the synopsis I wrote. And hopefully you guys like it. Fire, blood, darkness. The tears of her parents were all she could remember. Valhalla Onika has lived with the Aesir since her 5th spring, since the day the god of mischief took everything from her. Taken in by the Aesir and Valkyries, she found some contentment. But past wounds have a way of returning. Years later, a clue embedded in the back of a dragon leads her to a confrontation with the god who murdered her family. Though training with blade and flame had made Valhalla fierce in her own right, she was still no match for him. Barely escaping with her life, the All-Mother ordered Valhalla to cease her investigation, instead giving her a new focus. A mysterious letter from its way... What? Let me redo that one. A mysterious letter found its way into the halls of Asgard, addressed solely to her. She was to meet with the High Queen of the lands of Virens. Death, submission, pain, nightmares were all he ever knew. Alistair Hilliard II was the High Prince of Virens. His life should have been one of luxury and indulgence, and would have been were he anywhere else. Being born a man in Hilliard's royal family, his duty was to obey, keep silence, and endure. By night, he belonged to the women of high society, a thing to be used, and by day he was charged with protecting the High Queen and her heir. The prince was stretching ever closer to the end of his rope. Worn ragged by the cost, his duties levied upon his body, mind, and soul. Alistair's mother had grown increasingly distant since his 21st name day. His sister, whose personal mission to see him suffer through nightly torments, had gone quiet. Terrible rumblings began to spread rumors of an attempt on her life. Regardless of her hatred for him, she was still Alistair's little sister, and it fell upon his shoulders to find out the truth. When Valhalla and Alistair's path cross, their fates will intertwine, finding themselves at the center of events that will reshape Midgard and ripple across the 9 realms. And there you go. That's the story I am hoping to publish this November. After that, I do have 2 Snow White retellings, but I'll hold off on sharing those synopses when it's time. So, how's that? Okay, moving on. Question 2. If you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? Tiny authors inspired by various mythologies and fairy tales to write fantasy stories while also trying to write queer and or Latin lead stories? How was that? Man, I'm already so bad at this. Question 3. What do you usually write? Fantasy. Epic, dark, urban, whatever. If it's fantasy, I got your back. Plus, I write Latin and or queer-led books. I'm saying and or because not all of my books will have a Latin lead, but they will definitely be somewhere on the rainbow spectrum. I grew up not having, or at least not seeing, Puerto Rican and BiPan representation. Thankfully, the terrain is finally changing, but it's clear we still have quite an uphill battle just to even remain on store shelves or be included in book recommendations. Question 4. What's something you'll never write? I don't want to say never, but I think contemporary and horror is at the bottom of my what to write list. Nothing wrong with those genres, I just don't have any interest in writing them at the moment. Question 5. What's your goal for starting an AuthorTube channel? Seeing as this is more a return, for now I just want to try and be consistent in my posting and talk about what story I'm writing, what books I read, and what animated stuff I've seen. Hopefully some good stuff. Chapter 6. What made you want to start writing? Funny enough, I started writing because I ended up learning that I didn't have the patience to draw a whole graphic novel, let alone a series of one. I began dabbling at writing after drawing 2.5 comic chapters. I'm saying 2.5 because the third one only got about halfway before I ended up getting so exhausted that I lost the motivation to continue. So I looked at my comic script for a while and started to rewrite it as a novel. Hence where 10 plus years of Valhalla came in, because that was the story I gave up on graphic novel wise. So yeah! Question 7. What's your publishing path? Self-published, traditional published, hybrid? Haven't decided yet, or just write for fun? I'm attempting to go hybrid. I've self-published 3 stories and the start of an omnibus. And the stories are The Call for Finney's Pride, The Call for Finney's Lust, and Revenge and Forgiveness. I've been currying since late 2023. My Taino middle grade Portal Fantasy has been shelved, unfortunately. And now I'm waiting. And now I'm waiting on the remaining responses for my Fae middle grade high fantasy. Oh, I did remember that a book agent requested a full manuscript request for my Taino story recently, but no answer yet, and it has been a month since then. Otherwise, I have a YA urban fantasy story I wrote. I'll be starting on querying that here in a few months. I'll keep you up to date. Question 8. What content do you bring to the AuthorTube table? I guess whatever comes to mind writing and book related while I have a speed paint playing. I like to draw. I find it therapeutic and easier to do than filming in front of a camera at the moment. So I hope you like my drawings. My feet are hurting. Chapter 9. What? Question 9. What's your biggest writing struggle? Give me a sec. I'm remembering what my betas have said. I have a bad habit of telling too much, which, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't notice until my alphas and betas point it out to me. But hey, that's what they're for, right? Question 10. What's your best writing skill? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure about this either. I don't have much of a fan base, and from what my betas have told me, I'm either really good at writing characters or I'm good at world building. Unless I get more eyes on my stories, this is probably all I got for you. Sorry. Question 11. If you've been on YouTube for a while, what's your best AuthorTube tip? Get a beta reader and listen to them. If you can't get betas and or alpha readers, get an editor. This step is not one you should skip or avoid. Alpha readers, beta readers, and editors are there to spot things you honestly can't see what's wrong. They are your first line of defense before publishing your book babies. Once spotted, they'll usually leave a suggestion for you to think about. It is up to you to follow through with their suggestions, but these suggestions are just there for you to think about. Will they all be winners? No. But it's not a bad thing to grab fresh, brand new eyes to check out your manuscript, especially to make sure you didn't write anything offensive or confusing and bad. Question 12. If you're new to AuthorTube, what is your biggest AuthorTube question? I'm gonna skip this because I'm not new and I really don't have a question to ask, except what do you want me to do a video on? Let me know in the comments below. Question 13. Are you looking for any new channels to follow? Betas, CPs, or other types of writer buddies? If so, tell us who you're looking for and connect with them in the comments. You know what? Whichever. I'm not an extrovert, nor am I an introvert. If you want to be a future beta reader, I just want you to be consistent and communicative. I've had bad experiences with ghosting betas, unfortunately, to the point that I might have to forgo betas and attempt editors, which, by the way, are not really cheap, and I have paid for a cheap editor before. And let's just say I get what I paid for. I'm not a famous, not even a popular author, and I'm still trying to figure things out in this career, despite being at this for 5 years. If you want to get to know me, ask me stuff. If you want to just follow and support me, you can do that too. Let's see how this goes. Question 14. What are you most excited for during this new fresh start on AuthorTube? Talking about my stories and talking about my favorite books and stuff. If I make new writing and book buddies in the process, awesome. Otherwise, I'm mostly here to have fun. And there you have it. Oh, that was long. Well, there you go. That's all I got. And clearly, the drawing finished well before I finished talking, so I'm definitely gonna slow down the speed paint to, at least fit it all together as best I can. So, just in case, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this here. I hope you liked my drawing as much as getting to know me, and thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Adios!